there's critical items in every company that have to be checked, whether it's data coming out through compliance, whether it's data going into operational decisions. So, oil and gas company, why are there 1,000 people checking it? Because they had gotten 100 million in fines from the IRS because the compliance data was wrong. Okay, why was it? I went to them on a report and they said this one field must be correct. It represents the oil storage. The reason that's bad is when the ship pulls up and tries to unload the oil into those big giant white things, if there's no room in the tank, that is a bad operational day. Another, if you look at one of our biggest logistic companies in the world, one of our great success stories, they have ships that pull up. They have to unload the ship into a warehouse. And when they've had it where they pull up and there's no room in the warehouse, what do they do then? These are the kind of operational data decisions that are being made at your company, and we want to check those. So sometimes people will come up to you and say, well, we're having a problem with the data feed for the tickler file that prints and sends everybody an email on happy birthday. We're not really concerned about that. What we really want to look at those compliance, those critical data feeds that people have to have correct, or it's what they call data chaos. And to find those people, those rooms full of people that are checking this data, and they're in a non-automated fashion, the key is to really start with the end in mind. In other words, look at the business units, the finance groups, look at the logistics groups, look in the other groups, not necessarily the data groups. The data groups often they're kind of just pushing the pipeline along. They assume it's okay. And many places we go to, they have no idea how bad the data is. But the end users are the ones that feel the brunt of it, right? So you were looking at the end of the process, but then we'll trace it back and find where the problem was. And I just wanted to kind of go through a few kind of overall use cases, and I was going to show a quick demo of how the product works, but the number one is data migrations. You cannot think of a bigger thing where you're introducing change when you're migrating, when you're moving from ECC to HANA, or you're taking HANA to Rise in the cloud for SAP, or you're moving from on-prem to Teza to Snowflake. These are huge changes because it's different, totally different type of architecture, everything involved, and you got to test that. So as you introduce change, making sure those are another place where you're going to find a lot of people. I was talking, I don't know if Matt Moore's in here. He was doing checks on the MDM and SAP, and he was checking every single record over and over. And you'll see people doing the stare and compare in those environments, and it's just not right.